Yeah, so we were talking about, and I mentioned, family members that seem stuck, and when to get involved in their situation, and we started talking about just talking about what the practice is doing. What my practice is doing for me. It's making me feel good. It's helping to lift me up, be more focused. Feeling better about my situation. So is that the best thing that someone can do? As a practitioner for family members?
Yeah, demonstrate and share that it works for you, if it honestly does. Right. So if it actually makes you feel lighter and more productive in your own way, and you feel that it's like genuinely cleansing you of all that ails you, and maybe even reaching into your desires and all the gunk that you had from before to keep you gravitated. See, so when those things start to burn up, and then you're going to become more enlightened, and that's like the first level of it, the physical level, physically enlightened. See? Then you have to become more emotionally enlightened, and then the way you get to that is through devotion. That's why it's good to have an example as Jesus or one of the other great teachers, so that you can resonate with them, because you're not here just to be yourself. You're here on the earth to become a life master. See, it's given to you. You don't remember. You don't remember agreeing to life master. You don't agree. See, you don't hear it in yourself, but it's there. See, that's what is built into this whole process. See, the secret of the agreement to become master. And everybody. See, but not everybody has access to it. They have to get to that point. Maybe they don't suffer enough to get to that point. Maybe they're not happy enough to get to that point. Each one has their own way to it. It can be more pressure. It could be more release of pressure. They need more happiness to get closer to it, and then they have a breakthrough from being positive, and others get a darker sort of route to take, and then that works for them. They have a breakthrough when they suffer enough. Suffering is not the way. The suffering is wood for the fire. So, but sometimes you got to pay, and you have to suffer, and then your time comes. It dawns on you that there is no suffering. It's not. You may even come to the enlightenment that nothing and no one is worth suffering. But you have to be bathing in the light already for that to be the case. You have to be swimming it, man, and grooving on it, right? Wave after wave. But that's what the potential is. See, swimming in the ocean of love and mercy. See.
So does the process of or the phrase taking was it 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, or whatever it has to be?
It could be 1 step forward and 100 steps back. Right. Depends on your karma. Depends on what you've been doing. It depends on how owned you are by the darkness or the gravity. And the same with your brethren. You say, when you pay your debt, you're going to be, free to be with me in a certain way. Not me personally, but you're talking. You're saying that. That's what you have to tell others. Everyone can be free. They just have to let go of their suffering. Take the fingers of their hands off their throat. They have to stop doing it to themselves, right? Because they're doing it to themselves. No one else is doing it. You can go out with your friends and do things, but you're the one doing it, and you're enjoying it, and you're paying for it. And so it's what you do and what you say that determines what your state is. So when you see an unhappy person, you say, no, they put themselves there. So let's say if I were brave enough to go back into New York City, to my borough of Brooklyn, right? the Heights, Brooklyn Heights. I might see a panhandler out there, somebody, and share coin with them. Pass on a good word. Let them know there's goodness out here. They may be suffering for things they did or said, or maybe they're just, suffering who they know. Say, no, but there's goodness out here too. See, that's the good news. See, it's not all like that person. See, and so, because you have the power to change somebody. See, you have the power to influence them. See, because you're living, let's say, a vibration. See, and if you have the Dharma with you, then it's much lighter than other people who are much more materialized and concerned about their problems, right, and their solutions, right, and their successes, and their accomplishments than the spiritual. Mm-hmm. So in that way, it's good to be a musician on the rise and a practitioner, see? Because you're enjoying to no end your musical development, right? It's making you a better person. See? It's changing you. The more you learn, you're becoming more confident, and you're a happier person. Less doubt, less concern, less, confusion. So you come here to be put on the life mastery path on a number of levels. And you have to determine whether it's right or good for you, but you're still here. So it must still be working.
Definitely.
And you're putting it to good use, because when you bring up things like you said at the beginning, in terms of other people, well, they start to feel your practice, and so they're drawn to you because they feel that you're gaining something that they don't have, that you have committed yourself to something which they haven't done yet, or maybe they can't do. So we don't hold them responsible for what they've got, but we hold ourselves responsible for what we add in terms of confidence to those who are less, let's say, fortunate, who are suffering, who are in their darkness, see, their moments of sorrow. So yeah, we've been there, and we care for you, and we are your friend. See, we're not going to bear your burden, but we are your friend. See, we are friends. If you have good word, that sometimes is enough. See, so you don't become overwhelmed by their karma and their burden, or take it on, which is what can happen. See. So kindness is necessary and warranted under all conditions, right? You just have to pick and choose. What is the wisest thing to say or do under the circumstances. See. You got to know. You have to respect their karma and their blood by saying, that's their karma. They need to know how to handle it. See? And you haven't reached a stage yet where you can say, oh, so, give me your karma. I'll take it. I'll take care of it. See? That's usually for a parent to do. Right? If they can, sometimes they can't take the karma of their own children. See? And that's what they need to suffer. Because they have children, so you suffer your children, you suffer your blood, you suffer your family. But it's all good, see? And people are willing to do that because they are, in fact, family. See? But some family can't handle it. Some can. Some have to get away to save themselves. And then in saving themselves, they can save other people. See? So this is a certain kind of, paradox in a certain way. And we have to know what way to go, how to go about it, so that we stop giving everything to everybody who doesn't really need it.